TikTok and Facebook. Just give me a moment to get the audio visual set up on all the different locations. And yeah, good morning to those of you at home. And we're going to head down onto our mat in a moment. All right. Okay, just checking I have green lights everywhere. Arriving in a comfortable cross-leg position. For those of you that didn't catch what I said earlier, we're going to be taking ourselves through a Yin Yoga class. So super settled, super grounding, and giving ourselves an opportunity just to tune into the subtle layers of connective tissue that flow around the body. And so you might like to have a strap. Would be best to have a strap if possible, or a belt, blocks, bolsters, cushions. And then I just ask you now to come to a comfortable seat and close down your eyes. And for a few moments, let's just connect with our breath here, recognizing how we've arrived this morning. It may be this evening in your time zone, maybe this afternoon. And just notice the quality of your breath, the rhythm and flow of the prana inside of you. Perhaps you can notice how the channels of your nostrils flow, whether one side feels more free, less sticky. You might be able to tune into the temperature of the breath, the touch of your clothes on your skin. You might even notice the quality of your thoughts here. And just notice how when you take a moment to ease the nervous system with the restorative nature of our breath, just manage to bring that de-escalation of the nervous system into practice, and how much more subtle the body feels, how much more calmer the body feels. We begin our practice today with a breath that welcomes in the channels of the nostrils and encourages the harmonization of Ida and Pingala, the two best known nadis of around the Sushumna channel. So take your peace fingers of your to your third eye of your right hand and pause for a moment. You're going to use your thumb and your ring finger to alternate the opening and closing of your nostrils, and the breath type is called Alom Viloom. And so we'll take the inhale through our left nostril, we'll close the left nostril, open our right, exhale through the right, and then re-inhale through the right, and then close the right, and then exhale through the left. So it's in, out, back in through that same nostril, and out, and then we keep going like so. So let's begin with a couple of cleansing breaths through both nostrils. Closing our right nostril gently with the thumb and inhale through the left. Softly close the left nostril, open the right, and exhale. Inhale through the right nostril. Close the right softly and exhale through the left. Keep going like this with this beautiful calming breath. Be aware of whether you've noticed whether one nostril is more available, more free. channel is more open. So when we think about the channels of Ida and Pingala and the Shushumna Nadi, it is the solar and the lunar, the masculine and the feminine. Perhaps you can even think of it as the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. And these are those opposites that exist, and they exist in tandem with the opposite, so that you can recognize each of them thanks to that beautiful reflection of both of them. So you just take a couple more cleansing breaths here. And take your hand down onto your knee and just take a moment to integrate that into your experience. Perhaps now you can just breathe a few breaths and recognize how the flow of those channels may have changed through that beautiful practice, a Kundalini yoga practice there. And let's begin just to warm up our spine by bringing our arms into a cactus position. Collarbones wide, inhale, chest forward, proud the body, chin up, and then with your exhale, side out, elbows towards your tummies, round the back, chin to chest. So just moving now with a natural intuition. Inhales the open and extension, lift and rise, and then the exhale, it's a letting go breath. It allows you to contract inwards. And in that moment of introspection, just allow whatever doesn't serve you to be released. And then on the inhale, welcome in the abundance, welcome in the pleasure and the joy and happiness of that expression of expansion. And just moving naturally now. Moving with your intuition, and maybe just recognizing if there's areas that feel a little sticky, feel a little bit like they could do with a bit of extra movement. You're very, very welcome to do that. And for this final round here, just take that biggest, longest, most luxurious breath so far today. And then with the exhale breath, round into the back body, chin to chest, belly button in. And then as you emerge from that rounding, let's take the buttocks down onto the mat. So remove your props and roll around so you can lie down on your back. And as you arrive on your back, bend your knees and bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. And take a moment here in this grounding position and just feel into how the spine naturally allows itself to lower onto the mat. Just give into the field of gravity here. And take a few really abundant breaths in through the nose, maybe even a sigh here out of your mouth. The therapeutic nature of just releasing the breath with a little bit of sound can be so good for you. Draw your right knee in and give it a big cuddle and squeeze. Allow it to have a moment here where you compress the thigh into the chest. You squeeze into the frontal hip and just give yourself a little bit of compression. And see if you can notice now whether you can just take a little bit of the effort away and recognize how the body has a natural ability to maintain a position. And just give yourself that freedom to turn off some of the muscles, turn off some of the activity. Half happy baby now. So your right arm goes inside your right leg, and you may lift the upper body just to allow you to find your way to hold the fingers around the outer edge of the right foot. If that's not available to you, you could take your peace fingers to the big toe. And if none of that's available, you could hold the back of the thigh with the arms and allow yourself to draw the foot in towards you your way. And from this position, we'll hold here for about 2 minutes. Your left leg is continued to be bent, or if the space is allowed, you can lengthen your left leg out. It's up to you there. The beautiful stretch across the front of the left hip can be really wonderful, and especially if you'd like to take your fingers into the front of that left hip and you palpate into the muscles and around the joint. Use your thumb, use your fingertips, and just feel into all of how the tissues there get a little sticky, a little tight, because we sit so much. And now just dance with the moment of effort and ease. Feeling into how in Yin Yoga, it's not just about becoming a puddle of water. You are actually required to have areas of effort and encouraging areas to be easeful. And for me, I think about how the head is fully supported on the mat, so there's easefulness in my neck, my upper body, but there's definitely effort in the hand, the arm, and the leg in Happy Baby. And it's the ability to remember that one of the key aspects of the Yin Yoga tradition is to stay, to maintain, to continue to hold and allow the sensation to arise and be skillful in the presence of that discomfort. And there's just a few more moments here. And now if you'd like to rebend your left leg so the foot comes to the mat and you find a bit more stability because it's an anchor point, do that. And now I'd like you to take your right leg up to the ceiling by interlacing your fingers around the back of the thigh. If you've noticed your chin started to jut up to the ceiling, just lift your head and readjust so the chin's more towards your chest. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the right thigh, and it will almost feel like it could stay there. And recognize now with the foot above the heart how the wonderful drainage begins to waterfall down through the leg. You can think of it like a backflow, backflush. Filters in swimming pools require maintenance and cleaning. Same here for our legs. You could do some like playful circles in the sky with that right foot, moving into the ankle joint. My left leg's still bent, but if you'd like to lengthen it out, it adds an extra layer of sensation to this particular hold. And as you just learn to stay for a few more moments, what about you welcome in some nourishing deep breaths? If you've started to feel those vibrations and muscles beginning to say, all right, we've had enough, let's just stay for a couple more moments, encouraging in that ability to flush out some of that which we don't need, which doesn't serve us. We're going to head to reclined tree position now. So lengthen your left leg out along the mat. Hug the right knee back in towards you and give it a big squeeze. And now the right leg, place the sole of the right foot in your upper left thigh, and the knee points out to the right. So we're in reclined tree. So we're lying on our back. The left leg is the trunk and the right knee is bent. You could stay here, or if you'd love to find a big morning stretch, what about you take the arms overhead and lengthen along the mat from the left foot to the fingertips. You can feel the left heel all the way down the bottom of the mat there. Can you press it down a little? Can you point the left toes to the ceiling a little? And if you would like, there's an added layer here of stretch that you can hold the left wrist with your right hand. And by lifting your upper body ever so slightly, you bend the torso to the right. So we're bending away from the foot at the bottom of the mat, and you're getting all of this extra length along from the left pinky finger, left wrist, forearm, tricep, upper arm, shoulder, all the way down across the ribs like an accordion, or I'm trying to think of what the corrugated iron in Australia, the roofs of country Australia. You can feel into the ribs, along the hip, the leg, and all the way down to the foot. Stay for another few moments now. Let's welcome in the beautiful breaths. Big, full, nourishing, wonderful breath. Very good job. Now, if you did take that little bend over to the right, come back through your center with me. Lengthen the arms overhead, so find that full expression of a stretch. Lift the right knee. Reach for the right knee, I beg your pardon. Give it a squeeze. Bring it back in. And now let's turn this into supine twist. So left hand takes the knee across your body. And as you twist and rinse, you can scoop the left hip underneath you a little bit more. Now's your chance to look for props, maybe a little bolster or a pillow underneath that right knee, rolling the head in the direction that serves you. Maybe the right hand reaches to the right and you look towards that hand. Just feels so valuable in my body to twist through that torso in the mornings. It just is such a nourishing expression of hydration in all of our postural muscles along the spine. See if you can even visualize now how the torso rinses like a dishcloth, twisting out impurities, cleansing away the pollutants of our day, of our lives, and allowing the tissues of our body to feel really nourished. Take another few moments here. There's no need to rush as we return back to center, rolling back onto the back and coming back with the feet on the mat and resetting, just coming back to center. You could step the feet super wide and drop the knees into center and then take the arms out. Let's just integrate how the right side body feels in comparison to the left. Taking a couple of sighs out of your mouth. I can certainly feel warmth on my right side, a little bit more vibrancy, a little bit more flow of energy. So let's all bring that into the left side now to harmonize in our body. So bring the feet back to about hip width. Keep the right foot on the mat, knee point to ceiling. Bring the left knee in now. Let's take all of the options we did on the other side here first, here second, I beg your pardon, just hugging that knee in. And you could even take it to the level where you uncross your fingers and recross them in the unusual manner and the unusual way, recognizing how we take the same patterns all the time, just like our thoughts, ruminating on the same thoughts over and over again, day after day, not releasing them back to the universe and allowing fresh vibrancy in, getting stuck in these holding patterns. Hugging the knee in a little more now, giving a big tender cuddle. And then we'll take our single leg happy baby, and I've provided you with all of those options on the other side, so find what works for you here, and also be aware, maybe this side needs something different. If that right leg wants to lengthen out, you could do that. Noticing there if the opportunity arises to palpate into the front of the hip. And this side will feel different because we've been through the compression of the holds that we took on this side. So you may even notice here just a little bit more sensation in the front of the hip, around towards the fleshy tissues of the buttocks. Notice the quality of the breath here, just tune back in. What's the weight spread like across your back? Is there a tendency for a shift? Are you more rolling towards the left side? Have you jutted your chin out? Can you adjust there a little bit? Just take that mind's eye awareness, almost like you've had an out-of-body experience and you're up above yourself. Just notice here if there's some sort of subtle alignment that you can take to help with that harmonization in your body. And from here, we let go of the foot, taking the hands behind the back of the thigh. Now, can we do a different cross of the fingers and start to lift that leg up to the ceiling? And in that few moments, I've just recognized how my chin jutted out, so I've just lifted the head, retucked the chin, and you feel more like that length now from the occipital ridge at the base of the skull as the vertebral column begins and journeys all the way down to the sacrum. You're feeling more grounded there, more earthy. It doesn't take long, does it, for the drainage to feel? You feel that drainage beginning. Also, it doesn't take long for the vibration to start either. Just be skillful in the presence of that discomfort. Just allowing another few moments before we head to our reclined tree position. Once more, we'll bend the left knee and give it a lovely big squeeze, cuddle, hug, draw it in, thank it. Notice how even in this position, there's a rush of energy back down the leg. Take the knee out wide, so external rotate at the hip, lower the thigh down and bring the sole of the foot into the upper right thigh. And now we've found ourselves in our reclined tree, and if the arms want to extend overhead, I feel like a big yawn, and you know what? It's 7:30 in the morning. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that encouragement you feel when you're in a long body position like this. The yawn just naturally happens. It's contagious. Let me know if you've had a yawn as well. Just rest and digest in your reclined tree position. I've already begun the process of holding the right wrist with my left hand as I prepare to take the upper body just ever so slightly over towards the bent knee. So lifting the upper body and just placing it a bit further off the center line to the left. And then you just begin to notice how that space unfolds between the lowest rib and the hip. With your awareness now, just recognize if you've started to grip or hold anywhere. And that came from a cue within my own body, in my pelvis. I was tilting, lifting, and I just let all that relax. Let that tension go. Give in to the field of gravity. And then as you come back, lift the body so that you're now in that straight line variation. Big stretch, big opening across the frontal body. Then draw the knee back in towards you. So left knee, give it a big squeeze, cuddle, hug it in. And then right hand's your navigator now. So right hand catches the knee, draws the knee across your body. And I like to remember to scoop the hip underneath me so that I get more of the alignment of the top hip to bottom hip. Finding the pillow, placing that pillow underneath the knee, bring the earth to you. And then you can take an opportunity to extend the left hand out. Maybe you look to the left. Just let yourself twist and rinse through that beautiful shape. Supine twist. One of the most wonderful aspects of our fingers is the electricity that is provided at the nerve endings on our fingertips, which is why we perform all of our mudras with fingertips touching, because it's a recycling of that wonderful internal energy. And I love to remind myself its touch is such a special part of the human experience. So if you feel like it, just taking your hand onto your chest, your ribs, and just giving yourself a gentle caress. Could even take it along the thigh. Believe it or not, it is actually connected to this whole yin practice. While stillness is a valuable part of it, the fascia, the connective tissue that flows through the body, responds to palpation, responds to sensation. And it just feels good. And there's nothing wrong with that. Final couple of moments, remembering that lovely expression of a dishcloth, getting that opportunity to rinse and cleanse, squeeze out those impurities, squeeze out the stickiness, squeeze out the pollutants here through the rotation, through the corkscrew expression. Freshen up for your day, give yourself abundance and pleasure and space for fresh hydration to flow into all of your tissues, cells, organs. And then as you come back, bring your knee back into you, give it a lovely big cuddle. And this time I'll encourage you to bring both knees in. And if you can hold the knees, take yourself in circular shapes around your sacrum and your spine, rolling around, being playful, grinning, giving yourself a lovely big smile. And take yourself in the opposite direction. Now feel free to rock and roll along the spine a little bit. And if it's available to you, rock and roll up and come into a seat. Take your blocks, pillows, props, and elevate your hips. Cross your legs. Place your hands on your knees. Close down your eyes. And then just give yourself a moment here to explore the internal universe of your body. From the fabric of your skin, feel the touch of your clothes, the temperature of the air. And then as you dive into the contours of your muscles, can you feel the flow of energy? That subtle awareness of the hydration of the tissues. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. And let the pelvis rest down into the soft tissues of the buttocks. The universe will look after the breath. Feel the diaphragm moving with its natural intuition, pumping with the rhythm and the vibration of the chest cavity in orchestra and synchronization of the heart, radiating out that beautiful flow of blood, oxygenation, energy. As you dive deeper into the layers of your body now, feel into the web of the nerves. Feel how the body responds so happily when you welcome in the rest and digest response mechanism of the nervous system. When you do what you do to all of your devices, all of the things in our lives, you recharge them to keep them performing at their optimum best. But do you know you are the biggest, the best, and the most incredible computer system that's ever been created? And you may sometimes find yourself working on Windows 98. In case you haven't noticed, we're up to 2025 model now. So regularly recharge your operating system, update the cabling, reboot. Bring your hands into your heart space and draw your chin towards your chest. Thank yourself for showing up this morning. Thank yourself for recognizing the value in slowing down. Not everything is about activity and movement. You can often achieve more by slowing down and doing less. If a gentle Om wants to flow from you this morning, feel free to do that. If not, just let the sound reverberate around you in how to prepare. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, the chin drawn slow more towards the chest. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may my actions and the actions of yourself enable other people to tune into their own freedom, so that we may be an agent and mechanism for change in a world that sorely needs it. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for your practice this morning, everybody. I appreciate your energy and joining me. As always, my TikTok community wins the gold star for encouragement and happiness and joy that comes from all of the little fun things that happen throughout the class. I think that looks like Bree from here. So good morning in Queensland. Thanks for joining me. Good morning, everybody on Instagram. I hope you had a good time there. And otherwise, if you felt called to and you enjoyed that class, you're very welcome to practice it on my YouTube channel. A recording is over there right now. So good morning, good day, good evening, and enjoy. I will see you again soon. Thanks, Bree. See you later. Bye. Have a beautiful day. Yes, you too. Thanks for joining me this morning. Natalie, thank you. Let's see if anyone else had anything to say. I think you're all busy. Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Thanks, Natalie.